Just one day before the 4th of July holiday, Dallas County shatters a record for the most infections seen in one day. And here is the number, and it's a whopper. 1,085 cases today. Health officials did warn us yesterday that they would share this huge jump, and there it is. For reference, there were 708 single-day cases yesterday, 496 a week ago today, 394 2 weeks ago, and a month ago, the number was just 122. Dallas County, meanwhile, also reporting 6 deaths. The ages of the victims here ranging from their 60s to their 80s. Officials say that there continues to be a tremendous strain on healthcare providers as well. Currently, there are 513 patients in Dallas County being treated for COVID-19, and over a 24-hour period, we're told 619 people did visit the ER. I want to bring in Governor Greg Abbott, who is joining us live once again, almost on a weekly basis now. Here we are, Governor, a little over 24 hours after you announced your statewide mask mandate, which officially went into effect at noon today. Two things. First, thanks for joining us. Right off the top, just a quick clarification. We were wondering, in counties with 20-plus cases is the mandate. Is that active cases or is that total cases?
Active cases. What we're looking for is the amount of spread in a particular county. There are some counties that may have had 20 cases a month ago but have 0 active cases today. That means the spread is simply not there. Okay.
Dolores Harris, one of our viewers, asked us to ask you this question. How long on the mask order at this present moment?
As long as it takes to bend the curve of the spread of COVID-19. You point out some very important numbers, and that is just 1 month ago in the early part of June, there were roughly 100 and something cases. Now there's more than 1,000. We are seeing spikes like that in many counties across the entire state. My point is, Doug, there's still, as we're speaking right now, so many people who are not understanding how serious this is getting. Get this, statewide. Today, yesterday, and the day before, we had more deaths in those 3 days because of COVID-19 than any other 3-day period during this pandemic. This is a very serious, challenging, and increasingly deadly problem in Texas, and we just need everybody to realize how serious this is, which is exactly why we need everybody to be wearing a face mask.
Right. Governor, we know that part of your job, whether you like it or not, is looking into a crystal ball with all of this. And the Dallas County Health Director yesterday said, and I want to quote here, he said, "We cannot have another Memorial Day over this 4th of July holiday." He basically said, if that happens, he used the word catastrophic. I'd like to know from your perspective, what's your plan if you go through this weekend and you see on the news mass gatherings all over the state of Texas this coming weekend?
So one thing that helps you look forward is to look in the past and see what happened. And we look in the past and see that one thing that led to the increase in people contracting COVID-19 in Texas were gatherings during the Memorial Day weekend. And so if we replicate on the 4th of July weekend what happened during the Memorial Day weekend, that would lead to another spike increase in people testing positive and in hospitalizations, and that would be catastrophic for Texas. Hence, Doug, we must emphasize the importance of everyone just staying home if you don't need to go out. But if you do go out, the importance of being able to slow the spread of the coronavirus by wearing a face guard.
Right. With the mask order, Governor, let me ask you this, because you talked about the possible penalties ranging from nothing, a warning, and then up to possibly $250 fine. You know, listen, masks have become political. We know that. But I want to drill down. Denton County Sheriff came out last night and said he's not going to have officers enforce it. Others talked about not enforcing. Tarrant Sheriff's Office told us today that it's a low priority for them. Is that frustrating to hear that some of law enforcement just simply wants to distance themselves, or is it something that's somewhat understandable because it always seems to end in confrontation?
Well, it's a challenge that we comprehended in advance for multiple reasons. And that is, there are hardened criminals out there who are committing crimes that need to be arrested and put behind bars. And if you have to choose between a murderer or a rapist or some other violent criminal, of course, they will be spending their time with the violent criminal. Another mathematical issue, and that is, there simply are not enough police officers or law enforcement officers to arrest everybody who may choose not to wear a mask. Hence, that's why we are trying to emphasize at every level of government that the only way that we will be able to prevent another shutdown of the entire state of Texas in the coming months is for everybody at this unique moment in time to join together and wear that face covering. we do not want to go back in a shutdown. This is our pathway to make sure we can prevent the spread of coronavirus if everyone will join with us to wear a face covering whenever you go out.
Governor, I want to get a few other items in here. We spent a lot of time on masks, but school starts in about 6 weeks for a whole lot of people in this state. Is there a chance, as we sit here today, that you might change your mind when it comes to your desire to allow the kids to get back in the buildings for the beginning of the school?
Several key points. One is we do not want to lose a generation of students because of the pandemic. So we are structuring education with two key touchstones. One is putting the health and safety of students, teachers, as well as staff, and also parents. Put that first and foremost, and then implement flexibility. So we have the ability to make sure students will be able to be educated if they're in a classroom, or if because of the pandemic they are not capable of going to a classroom, through the online real-time learning from their teachers. Bottom line is we have the tools, we have the strategy to be able to educate these students. We just need to implement it, whether it be in the school setting or at home, but understanding, if possible, the best setting for a child to learn will be in a school, in a classroom, with a teacher, with fellow students.
Governor, a week ago today, I think it was at the noon hour, you closed down bars all across the state to the frustration, obviously, of many owners. This is their livelihood. We've had some, one in Fort Worth, incidentally, came out this week and said, I'm going to open up this weekend despite the order from your office. What is your plan for those who may defy the order?
So the way the alcohol distribution process works is that for bars to be able to have alcohol to be able to sell, they have to buy it from a distributor. And distributors know that it would be illegal for the distributors to sell it to bars that are prohibited from selling. And so it will be challenging for them to be able to obtain that alcohol, for one, but for another, it will be challenging for them to be able to have a license whenever the closure of bars is ended and bars are able to reopen. Listen, we understand the frustration that bar owners have because they have bills to pay also. They have dinner to put on the plate just like everybody else. We want this to end as quickly as possible. However, we also know from reports from every region of the state that bars were areas where it was so easy for COVID to be transmitted from one person to another, and it led to a spike in people under age 35 who were going to bar-type settings who contracted COVID-19, and we simply have to use every tool we can to make sure we slow the spread of the coronavirus.
Governor, I got under a minute left, just so you know, but I have to ask you this. Texas Republican Convention Executive Committee came out last night. They said they're going to go ahead with the mid-July event here in the state of Texas, thousands likely to attend. The president of the Texas Medical Association says that with or without masks, an indoor gathering like this one poses significant health risk. Are you okay with moving forward with this?
Well, listen, with regard to any type of setting like this, it is essential, especially with COVID-19 spreading as rapidly as it is, that everyone use caution, make sure they do wear face guard, make sure they are practicing the very best protocols. There may be some complications here because I know that in a convention there are certain things that have to be done. It's not just a meeting of people. There's official business that relates to delegates who go to the national convention, as well as certain other official matters that need to be taken place. I don't know about all the mechanics about how that could be done otherwise. All I can do is to explain to everybody in the state of Texas how dangerous COVID-19 is spreading, how increasingly deadly it is becoming, and what we all need to do to make sure we do our part to slow the spread of the coronavirus.
Governor Greg Abbott, we appreciate your time once again answering so many questions. Thank you, sir.